Hey guys, Kevin here. So, this is a video on the SEGA Mega CD slot loader, the first generation that is, and basically we have a cap issue. So I bought this there literally today. So I bought it from a local store. They just got this in, it was working. I actually had this running for about an hour today, and switched it back on again, and there was nothing come up. The Sega CD logo wasn't coming up. So I have seen this before. I have actually got a previous Sega CD with the same issue, a similar issue, and as far as I know, it is a cap issue. Sadly, I couldn't resurrect my old one. This board isn't half as bad as the original board. I actually think I have the original board around here somewhere. So this is the other board that I had. So I recapped that entire board. Sadly, it was so corroded that some of the traces were frigged on it, something serious. And I had to rebuild the earth for the static shielding and everything. It was a bit of a bust, this board. It does actually work, but not very well or reliably. So going over these actually right now with my actual voltage meter. Basically, there's some of these not even getting any capacitance at all. I think they just literally blew just now, completely, because this was working. Now, let's see, if we get close to 1, as you may see here, the corrosion is actually quite terrible on the board. So this is more, at this point, a preventative measure, as you see on the top there. I'm a little bit worried because this is the one that actually caused the most trouble last time. Yeah, so, and these two here, yeah, these two are actually showing nothing in capacitance. Sorry about the blur, guys. And as you may see around the sides here, this is where the actual what's it called again? The electrolyte is actually corroding through the board. Now, luckily for me, from doing this before, I actually have a little bit more experience now doing this. Made mistakes in the past. I will be not making those mistakes again. And I have a bag full of 10 microfarad capacitors, 25 volts. It shouldn't make a difference, guys, the voltage. It just means it can take more voltage than the microfarads. But microfarads the microfarads are the more important thing, mainly because basically, if you don't get that right, you're going to blow your board. Well, you're going to pop some of these. Now, what I'm going to try and do is clean this board up. It's going to be a little difficult. I'm out of alcohol, so let's see. I'm going to see if I can just douse this in flux, clean up the areas, and yeah, fingers crossed I can bring this board back to life, and this one at least back to life. Be a little bit pissed off if it doesn't work after this, because the way it was sold to me as working. I bought it for €8. That is a bit of a bargain, to be honest. Let's clean her up first, and then I shall find out what's going on with this one. This one is worrying me a lot. So it is this capacitor right here. I'm not too happy with this because it's gonna. I can see myself having to build some traces for this, which is loads of fun. So I'll be back in a second. I'll just assess the entire board and see what's going on. So yeah, that kind of confirmed my suspicions there. I found clean or new electrolyte around here. I just have to clean it up. So you might see a little bit of wetness right there. So yeah, electrolyte has just recently started pouring out of this capacitor right there. Generally these ones here, these capacitors usually survive. I don't think I'll need to change either one of these. It doesn't look like they've been badly damaged, but I'm so worried that after spending €100 on a board that's going to be completely useless again. That's just great. All I can do is just work on the board, replace the caps. If that doesn't work, yeah, I don't have any comeback on this if I start replacing capacitors on it. I did spend €8 on this. On the last machine I spent 40, but I hate to see a board go to waste, especially if I catch it in time. I think I may catch this on time. So fuck it, YOLO. I'm going to YOLO this one because the solder on other components on the last board, these were all misted and everything, where the board had just literally been popping. These things have been fucking taking the board out one by one, or taking parts out on the board one by one. So I think this be an easier cap replacement. So what I'm doing right now is I'm using a small blade and I'm cutting away slowly around. Basically, I'm etching into the solder to get rid of all the corrosion in the solder first before I do anything else. This is what I didn't do last time, and what happened was I was just dumping tons and tons of solder, flooding the actual pads onto corrosion, just pure corrosion. I was flooding corrosion, and I was doing nothing, and I ended up making more heat damage than anything else. Now, when that was a stupid mistake on my part on my other board. I ended up fucking destroying a couple of the pads, especially here and here, with these two capacitors here. It's completely unnecessary. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go over these with a blade, try and shine them up as best I can, then wipe it away, rinse and repeat for all the rest of these. Try and clean the areas, try and keep liquid away from it, because liquid, like this stuff here, flux, once I pour that on it, it turns into an absolute mess. So it does. Trying to clean it away. So as I'm out of alcohol wipes, what I'm going to do is just use this knife here, my blade, and just kind of etch, kind of like just scrape away all the bad solder, and hopefully save the pads here, because they're not looking too healthy, sadly. I'm hoping that I've gotten this right on time, and can bring life back to this board. Anyway, back in a bit. So, not even checking, I looked again at the board. I went off and got a drink, and I came back. Another cap is leaking out as we speak. That stuff is actually, I thought it was flux when I first seen it, like old flux. You'd sometimes see old flux, but look at this shit. Look at this. This thing is leaking as we speak. This is going to smell of fish. My entire room, when I desolder all these, is going to smell of manky old fish. So it is. So yeah, that's the thing. So oh damn it! I've never actually seen a board. I've never actually seen the caps blow like that. Now I worked for a circuit board company once, where we made actual circuit boards, and these things have fucking popped off in the voltage testing machine, and sound like a fucking gunshot. So they did. But yeah, I've never come across that before, where it's just slowly leaking out. Obviously, I have to clean all this up. There is also right there. There's more, and it looks like this one has actually eaten slightly through the board. I am terrified in lifting this one. All I can do is, what I've been doing is shining them up. So I shined that one up there. So I've gotten rid of a lot of the corrosion. Shined these two up here. Shine that one up there mostly. Yeah, I'm mainly shining all these up just so when I flood these with solder, it just sticks and it doesn't leave crap behind. Because if these here are an absolute fucking nightmare to remove without a heat gun. and I still haven't been able to find a decent heat gun that's going to do the job that I needed to do. So I don't want to invest money into a Chinese piece of crap. And people are probably going to say, "Oh, Chinese stuff isn't all that bad." Trust me, I don't want to invest my money into Chinese crap. But I need something that's going to last me, and those things they don't last too often. I've been down that road before, and I'm not doing it again. But yeah, I've also got two caps there to replace. But what I'm going to do is what I'm actually going to do is replace that one, all the ones that look terrible. I'm going to replace and test the board out. Take it back if it's still not working. Take it back in, do some more, and basically be very very fucking careful when you're doing this because um, they are very fragile. So they are the way they are right now. So I have seen before people actually just snipping them outright, just snip them off the board directly, just snip. Um, this can go bad in a few ways. It's good because you just get it off the board, snap, get rid of the electrolyte, and get rid of the plastic bit, and that's that. In another way, it can actually cause damage if it pulls upwards, or if you pull upwards, it can cause damage to the actual pads again. I have seen a very, very prominent YouTuber who does this all the time, doing it this method, and he says it's the easiest way he's ever done it. So I might do it this way. Yeah, I might try it out. Give it a go. Give it a go. Like so. Yeah. I'll be back in a bit, and we're going to see how this goes. So I snipped my first one off the board. That's it there. So that's it there. And oh dear God, the corrosion that's on this inside it. To be honest, it's yeah. As you may see, I've shined it up a bit on the corners there and cleaned up a lot of the board there. But look at it; it's actually hurt. It has actually damaged the board badly. So it has. That's just a bit of plastic. But yeah, I'm actually might stick with this dry cutting method and then clean up the board with a bit of solder afterwards. This may actually save me a lot of time and effort, so it might doing it this way. And at that, it doesn't actually well with all these losing their electrolyte anyway. Just show you this. Is dry as a bone on the inside. So it's not leaked anything. The other ones may leak. I'm not too sure, but I think I'm going to stick with this dry method. The dry method may work, and it might actually cause less damage at the end of the day. If you don't know how to actually remove these, another way of doing it is heat gun. So heat gun, you heat up the area. It stinks of fish and it smells absolutely disgusting because that's what electrolyte does. It smells of manky old fish, and basically you just push the thing off the board. Very very simple, very very easy way of doing it. As I am a cheap bastard, I only have my zoom out, my soldering iron. I will get a heat gun soon. Probably fucking be a brilliant idea to get a heat gun to do this sort of thing, but I haven't had a chance to do it. The other way is with a soldering iron is to literally dump like shit tons of solder in there until you link the two together, and then you just literally get a piece of, or you literally just get your knife or something and you just flick it off once you melted solder on both sides, and then you just clean it off with a bit of wick, and yeah, bingo. That's another way of doing it. But I'm going to remove this one, see what the pad's like, and I'll be back in a second. And there we go. So literally I snipped it off, and I just literally flicked off the little plastic bits that are around it, and it actually came out perfectly fine with the dry cut. And it does look fucking terrible right now, but I'd say I'd be able to clean that up with a bit of alcohol, and that is one off the list. That is I'll see if this is a salvageable pad. I'll be back in a second, and I'll clean all this up. Yeah, I just want to show you what ends up when you just cut off the top of it, and then you just get a knife and just flick up the plastic, because there's a little plastic ribbon around these, so there is at the bottom. So actually, maybe flooding these might not be a good idea. You're more likely to damage something if you flood them. Plus, what some people get confused is you can actually burn your board. Now that can cause a lot of trouble with traces and everything, and plastic, the plastic itself or the film can get damaged, and that can cause issues with corrosion as well. So maybe doing it this dry way might be a little bit better than actually, flooding these boards. What I will do is I'm going to heat up my soldering gun now. Well, I'm going to clean all this up, heat up my soldering gun, and just flick off these two little nubbins because they're not attached now. And the main reason why these always lift is when you're trying to heat up both of these. Sometimes what people do is they use pliers, which is a big mistake, and I'm guilty of it. I'm not going to say I'm not because I'm guilty of it, but basically this is how you do it. They get a pair of pliers, they clamp them, they get their soldering iron in their other hand, put it in, and then they rock it side to side. And when you're rocking it side to side, you're actually pulling up those poor old corroded pads. Now, with these things are very delicate. These actual SEGA boards, the CD boards, they are stupidly delicate. And doing that is just not gonna fly. So yeah, this is pretty much the best option I think at this stage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this for all the rest of the caps on the board. I might as well just do the whole lot of them, and we'll see how this turns out. Right, back in a bit. So that's another one there. Very, very simple, this method. I will actually leave a link to the YouTuber. He was doing it on a what's it called, a TurboGrafx Duo. So they have terrible problems with capacitor issues apparently. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show it to you with the method right here. I'm just going to switch hands because I'm a righty, so I am. So basically what you do is see the little lip. So yeah, see if I can get some light on the situation. Some better lighting. So as you may see, a little lip right there. It's literally, you can fit your actual snips into it. You see the lip? So what I've been doing is put my finger there, make sure nothing else is in the way, and snip. As you may see, that comes off. Now actually I didn't want to show this method in case it didn't work, but it does work, so yay. So basically what else I do here is the night. I go downwards and I actually snip it across where the pins are. Snip it down the middle, as you may see here. So I snipped it down the middle here. One sec. I'll make sure I do this correctly, because if I don't fuck it up, it comes out bad, and I have another. Yep. So sorry about that. So yeah, as you may see, I snipped it down the middle because the pins were either side. As you may see here. So yeah, look at how bad that bloody corrosion is. I am so worried about these pads. But what I'm doing here, it seems to be working better than flooding. So it does. I'm not burning the board, I'm not doing anything. And I think this is the best method for this situation. And basically, what I do is... Sorry about that. Camera ran out of memory, of course. No way I'm going to reshoot that again, but... basically what I do is I just get the blade. Ooh. So I get the blade and I actually tuck it under. I start doing this sort of just to kind of push things up. Seeing that this part is mostly plastic, and yeah, it's already kind of badly corroded, so a lot of this is just literally coming away like brittle. It's coming away like it's like muck, so it is. Yeah, it's literally just all that's really there. Yeah, so just push it up, keep on pushing it up, and there we go. So yeah, and then that's all we're left is the little metal yokes. Then we just clean around this with the knife. As you may see here, there's a lot of this corrosion or this crap, and I'm just going to shine all these up. And if you can't see, actually, I have the camera totally arseways. So as you may see, I'm just going to shine all these up. So yeah, there we go. Shine. You can see in the corner there where I've after scraping it away, it's all shining up. Shine them up and replace them with the non-surface mounted. Someday I'll buy surface mounted ones. Someday I will. But today, no, fuck that. Yeah, so this method is working perfectly for not pulling up very, very delicate surface mounted pads. So yeah, I'm going to do this with all the rest of these, and I will tell you, I'll show you what this board looks like without any caps attached to it. So well, I won't be removing these ones because this one here and this one here are not actually blown. I test them out and they're good. They're all good. So yeah, I'll be back in a mo. So this is my little pile of capacitor crap. Yeah, these capacitors were all fucked. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Every single one of these capacitors were blown. And this time, doing it in the method with the actual pliers, I lifted absolutely no pads. And if I want to show you my other board, yeah. So this is the board that actually I flooded these. So as you may see here, I actually lifted the pad in this one, and I lifted the pad right there. It looks worse than it actually is. So yeah, this method seems to work perfectly, and flooding means I don't have to burn. I didn't have to keep heat on the actual board for long periods of time, and all I have to do is literally, well, I will have to flood these pads anyway, but I won't damage the pads flooding them this time. I won't be pulling things up or anything. So yeah, this is the perfect method in getting rid of those pesky pads that have actually started corroding on your board. It leaves 2 pins behind, but you're going to get rid of those when you flood the board. And this actually leaves you space to take a knife. What I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be cleaning off all the corrosion off all these pads, and then cleaning off the board itself. Go over with a bit of alcohol once it's all done, and then solder these new non-surface mounted capacitors. Probably get them a little bit closer to the board than I did on the last one. A little bit more. I'm not. Last time I was a little bit. I wasn't doing it too. I wasn't getting close enough to the board, so this time I'm going to get a little bit closer. Right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start soldering all the capacitors on, and hope that this thing boots up. Hopefully, please, hopefully. Okay, that was absolutely disgusting. No joke. My nose is filled to the brim with the smell of just disgusting. It smelled like, oh god, it was disgusting. It smelled like fish. But this is the mass of just shit that came off this board. Solder crap, as you may see right there. Still a little bit hot, but these are all the pins that I've after taken off the board. They all came off very easily, no overheating on the board, and yeah, I'm just going to put that back onto that, so and I haven't forgotten any pins. So basically what I have to do now is just, yeah, as you may see, no pads have been lifted, very little heat has been applied. I didn't actually even have to put flux on this, so I didn't, so there was a bad one, but still came off so freaking easily. So yeah, sorry about the blur. So yeah, this has actually been a successful decapping from those. This has been a 100% successful decapping, which is rare with these boards because usually you pull the caps off. You just have to be very delicate and cut to the opposite direction the pins are facing. And it seems to bloody go through them like no problem. That seems to work perfectly, this method. And basically what I'm going to do now is clean all these pads off and get rid of all this corrosion off the board and replace all these caps. And fingers crossed, I may have saved this Sega CD, and I shall be back in a minute. Bye. So while cleaning off this board, I just want to show you what I'm actually cleaning off this. And there's little, one sec, sorry about this. So, so as you may see there, that's literally just a clean wipe. There's little black speckles in it. That's literally the solder just rotting away, so it is. Now this is well over 20 years old. This is coming up. No, this is about 20 years old, so it is, this board. I'd say. What year this? It should say on it. It says on the other one that I have, as far as I remember. Oh yeah, it says on the other side. So this board should be 1992, as far as I remember. Yep. There, 1992. So this board is over 20 years old. 24, I'd say. Yeah. My main recommendation for anyone who buys a first gen, just take it apart, even if it's working. Take it apart and replace all the caps, because these things are creating huge havoc inside the machine even if they're working. Now this thing was put down in was actually sold to me as working, and I did witness it working perfectly up to about an hour. I'd say I've been at this for about an hour now, and before that I had it. So this was working perfectly, so it was. And guys, if you are buying these, like if you are a retro collector, I don't care if it's working or not. Could have been sitting up for years and never used. These caps are rotting. They're not blowing because of usage. They are just rotting away because the seal on them was absolutely terrible. They were bad quality caps to begin with. So I'm actually quite lucky right now. So I am, because I'm actually cleaning off this board. The pads look to be able to take solder, so they do, and they're cleaning off perfectly fine. And with the other board, I'll just show you here what trouble I've had with this other board, which isn't shown up on this one, was on the chips, on the actual backs of the, or on the legs of all these chips. These were all terribly corroded, so they were. That's why they look like they're actually really shiny right now, is because I had to redo all these chips, so I did. They look perfectly fine on this board right now, but literally all these chips had to be redone. Every single chip around a capacitor, which is terrible because God knows which one has a bad trace, which could be hidden under. That's why I bought the new console, was because it was broke. My old one was broke permanently from trying to get these caps off. Now, yeah, this is my recommendation. Now, this is what they look like cleaned up. They don't look too well still, They need a little bit more cleaning up, so I do. I'm just using a bit of solid wick, and I'm trying to get through these one by one. As you may see there, that doesn't look too healthy, so it doesn't. Let's see if I can zoom in further. Yeah. So what I have to do with these here is literally scratch them up, scratch them up with the end of my knife, and hope that they still make connection. So that one looks okay. This one here has flux on it, but what can really badly happen is in the solder on the actual pins also gets affected. So redoing that is an absolute pain in the arse, because you have to take out the whole chip. So you do clean up the area and then put clean new solder on it, and that's not including if that stuff hasn't actually rotted away the actual board itself. Electrolyte is probably the worst stuff in the world, so it is, when it comes to rotting away. It will rot your board, so it will, from the inside out. So luckily I've caught this early, and fingers crossed I should get this cleaned up, and I'll show you the outcome after I've everything clean as a whistle. Right, back in a bit. So this is what the board looks like, completely cleaned off. So at this point what we're looking at is soldering onto these pads again. They're nice and shined up, so they are. If you see any kind of dull bits, it's just that it's impossible to actually clean up the amount of corrosion that was actually on these pads completely. The only way I was actually able to get them to shine up this well was I went over with the knife again. This has been like 2 or 3 times worth of actually going over these, and yeah, as far as I can tell, there is a permanent damage to the board due to the electrolytes, but hopefully the chips are good. The chips, this board was working, so I can only say that the chips should be still working. A little bit of dust there, but yeah, time to solder, and here we are. Here are the chips in question. Not chips, caps in question. So, ow, I just poked myself. Ow, ow, ow. There we go. Finally got one. So, what I installed on the other board, which brought it back to life at least, is what I'll be using on these, on this board. So these are 25 volts. If I can zoom in, go. So 10 microfarads, 25 volts. They're not the greatest caps in the world, but they'll do the job. So they will. And yeah, let's get these fitted, and I will jump back in once they're all fitted. So we are fully capped. We are capped to the limit. So we have all the new caps on there. To be honest, I'm not going to actually try and repair this time, because it doesn't seem to be that bad. It shouldn't rot any further or corrode any further. A lot of this board seems to be perfectly fine. I will replace these caps with surface mounted caps, but I'm more so hoping that this actually rectified the issue, and fingers crossed we've actually fixed this. So let's see. I'm going to put the machine back together again, and I'll be back in a second. So everything's back together again. Here's fingers crossed that this thing boots up. So, oh, yeah, there we go. Mega CD. Thank you, dear God, thank you. Sorry, this has been a long night. And does it eject? Yeah, We have the eject done. That opens up again, so I'm going to stick a CD in there. I should probably put a controller in as well. Sorry about the mess, guys. This thing has just been a pain in the ass for the last couple of hours. It wasn't actually working properly either. So all we do is we press start. That goes in. Press start again. Hear that. So that entire these little bastards right here, this is like a pile or a graveyard right now of capacitors. Guys, these are definitely better off getting rid of those capacitors when you get this thing. Now, let's see if this will play the games. 1989, year after I was born. And yeah, it's actually working. I'm so relieved. I'm not kidding, I'm so relieved on that, about that. So, theoretically, Shurikens. So, theoretically, come on, hopefully this works. This used to work. There we go. Infinity Shurikens. There you go. People who didn't know that was a thing. But it works. I am fucking delighted. Oh, seriously, I am knackered. I am absolutely knackered. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. I started this at about 8 o'clock in the evening yesterday. So, yeah, it's a success. And let's just get getting going. Yeah. Yep, that's working. I'm currently playing this with one hand, but it's working. And the music sounds actually quite good on it. And yeah. My brand new sick Mega CD is back working again after only owning it for a couple of hours. So, what can I say about this? Guys, the original Mega CD, they are all the same. It's like buying the battery pack for the SEGA Nomad. They're all going to have these capacitor issues. This machine here is not the first machine that I've ever had that has this capacitor issue. Now, one thing I will say is results may vary. To be honest, this board here, even when I fixed it for this other machine, it shows up on the display, but there is something else wrong that it just doesn't show up with some graphical issues and all the rest. So, looking at this here as repairing this, I'm less so thinking that's the board. I'm more so thinking that it could be something else. So, yeah, that's my take of this so far. So, pretty much, I'm tired. I'm yawning right now. And yeah, hopefully this helped you guys a little bit. Showed you a little trick on getting these nasty little capacitors off the board. And yeah, thanks for watching my video, guys. If you did like this video, please rate, subscribe, please leave comments. I love answering people's comments, and I love being able to help people out with these sort of things. So thanks for watching. See you then. Bye.